So if you've been following along, you'll know that we've had some problems all year, and mainly for the Nova, we've had blower gasket issues. So follow along as we get into this and see if we can figure out what the heck is going on.
I don't.
Yeah, let me pull up. I don't think I documented on my Excel yet.
I can pull the run up real quick. We're just gonna leave that camera rolling.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
The problem is our top-down approach up there is probably gonna look funny.
Well, once we start pulling it apart, it'll be fine.
All right, so.
All right.
I've already got a, okay, no, we're good. So your first qualifier there at Martin, Michigan, because I don't think we've said in your video yet, where did we go?
We went to Martin, Michigan, at US 131.
That was the Funny Car Nationals, I think is what they call it.
Funny Car Nationals.
Went up there to race NDRL. Your car was gonna run 10-0.
Yeah, we're gonna run 10-0, and so we've already been dealing with the fear of whether or not the blower gasket was going to last, since when we did our test and tune at Ohio Valley, we blew 2 of them right in a row. Couldn't figure out what it was. Only thing that we changed, that changed from the rest of the season, was we took the pulley off to switch it out and realized I had the wrong size belt, but I'd already taken everything apart. So we put everything back together. We're thinking the belt tension was too taut.
Too tight.
So we loosened it up, and I got down the track the first time around without blowing it. However, you can bleep this out. The shit show Nova never ceases to amaze us.
The driver never sees it.
And so we noticed that there was an issue with the shift point. No matter what I set it at, it shifted wherever it wanted to shift at.
Which is an ongoing issue. We thought it was fixed, but it's not.
Yeah, so at one point it shifted at almost 7,700 RPM, a little too high. And I had it set for 6,300. It actually shifts the shift lever, but the transmission doesn't shift till later on. And so on my first run, it did exactly that, and it actually kind of startled me for a second. Something just did not seem right. And on top of that, I was racing a 9.0 car who should have been car lengths in front of me, and I stayed up next to him the whole time. I thought, well, maybe I'm just going way too fast, and so
by a whole second.
I let out, but I still did a 10:14. I don't know exactly what my mile an hour was. I think it was like 120 something. But
in the great words of Sam Patrick, you do realize that was a test pass.
Yeah, it was a test pass,
right? we're not racing.
Well, I tell you what, one of the things is that you realize that when you think something is wrong, your mind initially wants to go to
defaults let out.
Do default let out and not hurt anything.
That's fair.
So that's what my thinking was, and so it was not too bad of a first pass.
Well, let's watch it and see how it went.
All right, let's take a look. All right. US 131 Raceway in Martin, Michigan. Get ready to take my first run. Gotta get really ready here. Don't know what it's gonna do, but we're about to find out. Whew.
Rowe on the left side with the Showtime, and on the right side, Chris Crady. Oh, and look at, that's a great shot. I got to give Braden props on that. That's a tremendous shot. Look at beautiful cars. The lighting's just right. Oh, you know why I'm looking at the windows on this. It's a Willys. Duh. Here we go. Side, it's a 10 low, and they're side by side, so somebody's slow, and it's going to be J. Rowe. 10-14 on the right side, 114.
So I had a decent reaction time, 0.2. It's not the greatest, but it's good for me. We were dealing with wondering if we were going to be too fast. And first time at this track, the guy next to me, he's a 9.0 car, and I'm next to him the whole way. I don't know if he's having problems. I'm thinking, am I running way faster than what I should be? So I let out, even though it's a qualifying run, I let out, and I ran a 10.14 at 114. So I've got some, I got to just go all the way down the track and not let out. It just seemed like it was super fast, but maybe not. So let's see what, we'll look at the data and see what happens and go from there.
All right, so that didn't seem like it went the way that you really wanted to, but I think it was a good idea to, if anything feels weird, let out. Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal.
And that's what it was. I mean, if it wasn't an elimination run, it might have been a little different, but it wasn't. Now, I want to go back and say that my reaction time on that run was a 0.021. So that was pretty good.
That's a real good.
So my next pass out, we went after none other than
Fox Body Bill.
Fox Body Bill. Now he's an 11-second car, so that was quite interesting to race one of our good friends and stuff and pit mates.
Teammate, damn it.
Teammate.
He's a teammate whether he wants to be or not.
Teammate Bill.
Teammate Bill.
So the great thing about that was 0.010 reaction time. So I've got those reaction times exactly where I want them to be. Flirting with the red a little bit, but I couldn't be happier.
Anything in the 10s I think is great.
But here's what's crazy about that run is that we waited and waited and waited, and I don't think we ran that until like 11 o'clock at night.
It was later than that, I think.
Maybe later than that. Everybody's windows, the rear windows at least, were all frosted, or not frosted, but dewed up.
Dewed up.
You could not see out. You could see the actual moisture in the air rising. It was crazy. But got out there and made a good light, got down there and did a 10.05. So that's closer to where I needed to be.
That's what were we predicting for that? I believe we were predicting a
10.01.
01,
yeah,
02.
something like that. So
we're not too far off.
And the weather was, it got
it's
down
so
to,
weird.
It got down to 55 and so much moisture in the air and everything. Yeah. So it was a little strange, but it was a good run.
Good pass.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it.
All right.
Down to the top end first.
Yeah, you know, we were just talking about maybe you need to detune your car because you're going a little quicker in this air, and sure enough, you need to slow it down by 300s.
once again, that third and final call for modified production. We need you in lanes 3 and 4. Bill Hamilton goes 0.39 on the reaction. Chris Grady out front on the top end of the track. Chris gets there first in that 64 Nova with a 10.055. Goes a $1.34 and some change on the speedometer. Bill goes 11.08 with a 5.
All right, let's talk about Q3 now.
Man, you're in for some excitement, I'll tell you.
You're in for something.
Yeah, so I've been getting accustomed to being the last one to stage.
Yeah.
So I let them stage their first bulb, then I stage mine, then they stage their second, then I stage my last one. Because it's so fast that it hits, I hit the trans brake, I'm on it, and I'm almost letting off almost immediately. That's how fast it is.
And fast as a marsupial?
Fast as a marsupial. All right.
They're fast.
Fast. What I'm saying is, all right. So this time it didn't happen that way.
Didn't happen.
And I staged first, and which meant that my second stage light was hit before he did his last one. And for whatever reason, I got a little nervous, and it seems like every time we go to the track, I do this at least once, where I red light so bad that I get nothing.
We did have data though, which is good. We could look at it and kind of overlay it.
And that was the first time that it actually shifted to the right place, or somewhat the same place, like 6,700.
Yeah.
So yeah, I red lit so bad it didn't even give me any times, and then I think I caused that guy to red light because he red lit by 0.1. He's like, well, if he's going, I'm gonna go too. So yeah, it was a good data thing, but I did get no times. But my reaction time obviously was non-negligible.
Yeah, well,
it was out. So.
We had data, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Chris, where do you take a sick boat at?
A boat dock?
You got me. You got me.
Hey, wait a minute. Do you know what the difference is between toilet paper and a wall?
No.
Ew. Yeah, I'm not going in your bathroom.
All right, well, we still have some video on that run. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. All right, qualifier number 3 in Michigan. Last night made a 10.05 run with a little bit of wheel spin at the beginning of the launch, but wasn't that bad. So I took a little weight out. All the cars this morning seem to be going a little faster, so I don't know if I'm going to go faster or not with the weight taken out. But other than that, I didn't do anything else in the car. So we'll kind of see what happens on this run. Which is fine.
The Pro Mods, but it's not a testament to how these cars being slow. It's a testament how fast the Pro Mods are. These cars look like they're going in slow motion. This is probably the fastest acceleration most people have ever felt in their lives if they hopped in on one of these. Like 0 to 133.25 miles. That's no joke.
That was Arnie McMurdy taking that 70 Maverick down that VP lane. Like you said, ran a
Corolla I had at one point was an 18-second car, and he's doing it in 9.9.
Right now, the 1970 Camaro is going to be Chuck Quinn out of North Aurora, Ohio.
I'd like to thank Beamer's Barbecue in Lawrence, Kansas. Rock Chalk, Jayhawk.
Chris Grady out of New Albany, Indiana, getting down to the... Oh, he is not getting down to the top end first. However, there is no data. He left way too soon.
So let's talk about E1. How'd that go?
So let's see. You know, it's kind of the luck of the draw. You know, when you get there in the staging lanes, who you're going to run against. Run against another 10-0 guy, and evidently he's a pretty good racer. I hadn't met him yet until that weekend, but he's evidently pretty good. And my reaction times have been so good, besides the one I really blew. But you know, a 01 and an 02 are pretty good. So I thought this is going to be pretty good. So nope, I red lit. 001 red light. Oof. 001 red light.
That's a tough one.
Man, if I would have just waited 001.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
I just waited, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
So they called us up earlier than expected for a first round of eliminations. It seemed like I just ran and did that horrible red light run. So I'm gonna run out here and see if I can make first round. A little nervous now that I got such a bad red light. So we shall see what happens. Didn't change anything. Didn't have any data on the previous run, so I don't know. This is basically my first run of the day. So we'll see. Yes, see you in a bit.
Potsy's fabrication machine on the left side. Love that racing.
That's Chris Grady out of New Albany, Indiana, in that red Nova.
On the right side, Kenny Robinson out of Greentown, Indiana. Oh, and there it goes. Look at that. Blood Brothers Racing just got pricked in the finger. 001. Too soon on the light. That hurts.
Red cars are not supposed to see red lights.
No.
So 1,000th too soon, that's literally insult to injury.
Yeah, it is.
You saw the wheel stand come out of Patrick's Chevy there. That thing really did a nice wheel stand.
So I had one of those 001 red lights too, and Q3.
And you had one both ways, didn't you?
I had
Both sides of the
001 green, 001 red.
Yeah. So that's just, I think to me, that's just getting a little too close.
Yeah, I want to stay in the teens.
Yeah, that would probably be the safest bet.
That's a tough way to lose. What was end up being your ET? Did you run it out?
I went a 10:04. Now, this is what we found out after the run, is that the blower gasket, when I took off.
Stop being a blower gasket.
Yeah. Well, when I got on it, it actually kind of did what it did last year. It kind of like hesitated for a second, and I thought it sounded weird, and it still did a 10:04. But we got back and we realized that the blower gasket had blown. Not as bad as it was blowing before, but we're getting ready to take a look at it here. But it was only going, according to the data, it was only pushing 4 pounds of boost versus the 8 to 10 that I'm normally pushing. Yeah. So, and it still ran at 10:04. So
that's wild. I can't believe it ran that fast with half the boost.
Exactly.
But
so, and it was at night too.
We're gonna fix the boost issue. Hopefully the blower gasket issue as well, because we're gonna change that to feels good to me.
I understand. It looked like it was maybe a little warped, but no.
We're gonna change this to, what did we got here? 50. Probably put a 50. We got 55 or 57. What do you got?
54 and 55, I think. So yeah.
Probably put 54.
Yeah. We'll just see what it does.
All right, let's get this bad boy off.
All right. I'm gonna have to take a look at that seal. That's a lot.
The seal stayed sealed though. I mean, it lifted enough to get enough pressure on the inside of this to blow it down.
So like I said, so when it was running, it must have resealed itself enough that it wasn't causing a problem.
I'd say with that thicker gasket, you may be in better shape.
Yeah, I still worry about this though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put some more oil in it. We need to change the seals out this winter.
I was gonna say we can buy one more race, but we're gonna have to pull that apart.
Yeah.
But that's all. It's all good.
All right, what are your thoughts?
Well, I know this is, well, obviously we have a gear oil leak here in the front, which we've noticed that before. I can't tell if that's saturation from something, or obviously that could be just fuel saturation. And this thing here, look, we did not seal underneath this flap, but this is all pretty taut, and
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it's blown here at all.
So we certainly didn't blow the gasket per se, because we still have gasket material along where it seals at. But it did lift up enough to push the gasket down in the windowed area.
Yeah.
So it definitely was leaking by it, but for reasons unknown here.
The windows were closed, but they were blown open.
Yeah, we didn't open the windows mid-pass, did we?
So after inspecting the blower gasket, it looks like that it had lifted a little bit, which still could be due to belt tension. I measured it myself, and we had at least an inch deflection inboard on the long side of the belt. So we might have to go a little bit more. Maybe it's the manifold or the blower casing has a little bit of divot in it somewhere. It's causing it. So we're going to try this one more time. I got 3 new thick blower gaskets.
Let's grab your gasket real quick.
There.
Right here.
Yeah, right there.
It was so thick they couldn't even put it in the tube.
They had to
open it
cut
up.
the tube to get it open. Yeah. So we got these thicker gaskets now. They look like they're about double the size. Yeah, actually it does look like it's about double the size of the old one. And they don't cost much more money than the thinner ones do. So we got a 3-pack from Good Vibrations, along with the new belt that's going to be a little longer. It's going to allow us to put a bigger pulley on it to cause the blower to slow down a little bit, so we can slow the car down and get a little less horsepower in it, so we don't have to keep on adding weights to the car. So we have one more big race coming up, and that's in Bowling Green, and it's about a month from now, so we have about a month to figure this out and get it all back together. And then over the winter time, just maybe some really interesting things happening. I got a little extra change in my pocket. I think
Going jing-a-ling-a-ling?
It's going a little jing-a-ling-a-ling, so we might be buying some metal for a chassis. So stay tuned for that, as Corey's going to help design that. And we may have a new chassis by next year. If not, it'll be midway through the year. And if not, it'll be 2025. Who knows? We'll get her eventually. But anyways, so like, subscribe to the channel if you like this, and if you haven't already, watch Corey's video on how he did at US 131 in Michigan, and see what kind of issues or good things we had happen there. Until then, see ya!